Leilani, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Leilani Drinks the Brown Stuff. Where? My backyard. So a few weeks, a month ago, has it been a month already? 2 days just seem to be twirling together. But on our road trip back from Washington, my beast ended up finding out that a distillery in California on the way to Mama San's house was open. Yay! It makes me so happy. We end up getting a chance to go there because they were open and ready with bottles. So tonight we are getting into KROBAR, and that is straight rye whiskey. Now this bottle cost about $65. They had an Americana rye that was about $50, and they also had the cask strength rye that ran about $90. It is 90% rye, 10% malted rye. This bottle is, what bottle number is this? It's gonna be in tiny little letters, which is kind of funny. It is batch number 12, and it is bottle number 173. Did I already say that it was like 92 proof and 46% ABV? That's important information for you guys to know because those numbers are fun. Now, they do age this about 2 years in 25-gallon New American oak charred barrels. This distillery sits on like a hill overlooking the vineyards and Highway number 46 West. So KROBAR is the brainchild of Stephen Kroner and Joe Barton. KROBAR. And the two of them have about 40 years of alcohol experience in this business. They use old school and new school methods at their distillery, and Stephen is actually the head distiller and the manager there. Stephen and Joe ended up spending about 4 years of research trying to find the perfect people to do their stills. So they looked into a ton of manufacturers and found one in LA. In LA? No, definitely not in LA. They found one in Louisville, Kentucky. And they go by the name of Vendome Copper and Stills. And KROBAR is part of the Distillers of SLO, and they also are part of the Distillery Trail and Paso Robles. Now, what was so amazing about the day that we ended up going there, not only was it like, what, 100 degrees? It was so hot. I was just sweating all over, like armpits, legs, everywhere. But as we walked in, they had this beautiful setup where it was like this open area where they had couches and tables and misting. Thank God for the misting, because we were weaving in and out of the misting. And then to the right, they had their, it was their restaurant, and basically the place where they sell their wines and everything, where people can order. And so you could sit outside and do that. So what a nice little setup. You had to walk to the back for the whiskey area, and they had set it up like a couple of bar tables, and there was only one person working. And the reason why is that day, the girl that was supposed to be there was sick, and we ended up with one of the co-founders, Joe Barton, was literally in the back slanging whiskey. So finally he came over and chit-chatted, and we were able to talk about his process. And what was beautiful and amazing was that he stated that he was super proud, super passionate, super happy with this particular rye, this batch. He was like, this is it. This is what I've been wanting it to taste like. And of course, if the co-founder and the owner is loving this particular whiskey, Leilani is going to listen, because anyone who spends time loving their middle-priced whiskeys, you know that they have passion and love for their work. So thank you, Joe, for that. And that's the reason why we ended up with this KROBAR straight rye whiskey for $65. Now he could have pushed the $90 one. I can't remember if it was on the page. Was it? Do you remember? It was? So it was there, but he didn't, you know, push that, which was, this is what I love about this whole experience. People who love whiskey and who are willing to state and have an opinion that their $65 bottle is delicioso and I should try that first. So here we are. So we're gonna crack this bottle open. But before I do, I just wanna say, how clean is this bottle? Look at that. Look at that color too, guys. That's like a ruby. Nice color, a little label there for you. But it just looks so clean. So I'm excited. Let's go ahead and pop this bottle. Do they have plastic? Because no. Let's get to cracking. Oh my gosh. Holy, it's this part of the nice label thing that's just holding on for dear life, but it doesn't know who it's messing with. Mama, don't take no mess. I'm going to crack this if I swear. Give me one. Oh my gosh. That plastic is on so good. That label, maybe it was because it was stretched out by that time. I just want to state, I don't need no judgments. Ooh, that's a nice sound. And that's an interesting, I smell autumn and amber in this whiskey. A totally different smell, guys. It does smell like fall. And I love that. Don't you just love when people say crazy things? I smell dried leaves. I kind of do, but I don't. What does that smell? It's almost, there's a berry smell, like a deep fruit. And of course, the slight bit of caramel. Yum. Whatever that scent is, I remember it growing up, and maybe it's leather. It's gotta be that leather, guys. That reminds me of my papa. Oh, Appa. All right, so let's get into this because now I'm super, super excited. Woman's pour, gotta have that woman's pour. That's right, because that's how I do it. Mama don't have no time to play. But before I go ahead and take a sip of this whiskey, I do want to say Joe did hook us up with a little taster. And when I say little, I'm talking about those plastic cups. And maybe that's just what they had because it's easy to throw away. But those plastic cups, like the blood of Jesus, plastic cups from churches where they give you just enough grape juice to barely wash down the dry cracker that you just ate. That's how much of the whiskey I had. So even though I'm admitting that I tasted it slightly, it was not enough. It's like giving me my Koreanness a kernel of rice. It's just not going to go that far. So now I got the woman pour and I'm happy. Let's do this. I just smelled a whiff of like smoke and orange. Yeah, it's definitely a fall kind of smell, guys, which is super cool because I don't think we've had a smell like this before. Oh, and the smell is different. Oh my gosh. Come on with your bad self, RYE. Holy crapola, guys. That is fall in my mouth. I'm telling you right now, if you wanted to taste what autumn really tastes like, this right here will do the trick for you. Oh, just the wonderful layers and the nice little smooth warmth of just life seems to be circling and circulating up in my mouth, making my tasty buds so happy. Joe and Steven, y'all. This is a local distillery. Come on, Paso Robles. I'm gonna keep drinking this because it is smoky, it is leathery, it is autumn, it is just everything that you need right now. And so tonight, Leilani drinks the brown stuff, is gonna give KROBAR this straight rye whiskey that's 92 proof. I can't hold back, 5 kisses. Yay to local distilleries, yay to small batches, yay to doing it your way. So, if you guys are in the Paso Robles area, you definitely need to make KROBAR a stop. I don't know what other information to give to you guys, but that it is super fantastic. And Joe, you did it. You did me right. Thank you. This is the way whiskey should be. Cheers.